I suppose.
Okay, since Mr. Ray started telling us about the teacher key stuff back in, I guess that was January when we had that faculty meeting, I've been researching to see what it's gonna be like. And I know the principals have gone with some training. What I found out on the Georgia Department of Education website is that we're gonna be told what it's gonna be like. I'm assuming this will be during pre-planning next year or post-planning this year, so that we'll know what to expect, because there's a lot of different things that are gonna change as far as the way we're evaluated. They have to do 2 30-minute observations, announced and or unannounced from what I can tell. And I'm not sure if that's per semester or per year. And also several walkthroughs that are at least 10 minutes long. And then students are gonna have to evaluate us. I think that'll be done by, like, my teacher knows what he's telling me. You know, it's just a few simple questions. It's not like, do you like this person? It's not those kind of questions, you know. But there will be some student input, and then it's all culminated at the end, and I found our annual evaluation form, so I printed all that off so we'll know what all to expect for next year. But the first thing that I want us to do is what it looks like we'll have to do initially is evaluate ourselves. So we're going to get ahead of everybody else. And it lists all of the class keys elements. It asks you things from your planning to your teaching to your relationships with the students. When you mark these, the first column is NE, which is not evident. That means there's no evidence that you do this at all. EM means emerging, which I take that as you're working on it. PR is proficient. You feel like you've got that down pretty well. And EX stands for exemplary, which I guess that means you could be an example for other people to come watch you and see what you're doing in your class. And on the back, it asks you your most significant strengths and your greatest areas of need. But I figured we could just go through and y'all mark the front anyway for today, and then I'm sure we'll have to see this again. So I thought that would be something we could look at. I haven't done mine either, so I'm going to go through it as y'all do. Close this door. Please make you think, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
that, we're gonna talk about it out loud, so just be ready to tell me what you think your strengths are. What I just put in front of you is a rubric that tells you what each of those areas are. So, for instance, for the not evident, you can look for each standard and see what not, or I guess they call it ineffective on here. It's labeled a little bit differently, but the exemplary and proficient definitely on here, you can see what that would mean for each standard. And I also have a copy of this, just the standards. If y'all want a copy of that, I make copies of everything I can find on the internet. Who wants to tell me what they think their most significant strengths are out of these things? What are we good at? I found some I need to work on, but what are we good at?
I think overall, because of the nature of what we do, we're all good at, or we're all exemplary at, plans of interdisciplinary instruction with real-world connections.
Mm-hmm. That one and differentiation. I think we're good at. Yes.
That's right.
Because we have to do that.
I think we engage them well in higher thinking skills too, because I don't expect them just to be able to complete the task of welding something together or whatever. I want them to be able to build that item to an
On their
acceptable
own,
level
yeah.
on their own, you know.
And if you're not standing over there watching it, you will know that they know how to do it.
Some of them get there, not many. But they do. We
I know,
carry that
mine's
too.
so-
Sometimes when you have one that is capable and willing, he can be more than just a welder, he can be a fabricator, and that is
Right.
definitely a higher level of thinking.
Okay. What are some more that we're strong in?
I think we're good at the flexible grouping.
Mm-hmm. And all the ones about professional learning, we probably could admit.
All them P's there, I think we're exemplary on just about all of
Exemplary
them.
on all the P's. Okay,
Don't you?
I think so.
I mean,
I hope other people would think so. All right, what are some of our areas of greatest need? That's the next thing that asks on the back. What do we need to work on?
Maximizes instructional time, because I let a lot of
Okay.
other junk get in the way of my
Me
instructional
too.
time.
Okay. Because people think that
Them A's.
we got time to do it in our class.
Right.
That's right.
you know how
We've
many
got time to
chairs
make
I
peanut
got
butter and
today?
jelly sandwiches for the
You know how
baseball.
many chairs I got today?
We got time to
Three.
work on chairs for everybody else. We got time to print everything everybody else needs. So I think we all get some of that, yes. And then it comes back to taking up our time to do it, and
Right.
then we're not able to put our time into what needs to be done.
So what we're assessed on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more that stuck out that you think you need to work on? Because these are all things we're going to be
A's.
evaluated on next year. The A's. Yes, the one about data.
Yeah.
Uses data to design appropriate timely interventions. I think that's always been one of my weaknesses.
I don't even really know what all that means.
Yeah, all the A's are pretty tough.
Yeah.
Formative assessment strategies to
I
adjust
didn't get
instruction.
myself too high on that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely need work.
Well, the ones that I gave myself exemplary on are not because of anything that I'm doing for instruction, but because of the program that we're
The
using.
nature of our program, that's right.
Right.
And, well, using the SAM program for instruction, and it's formatted the same way our end of pathway assessment is. And so somebody else has already taken all the work out of it for me.
Right.
You know,
And it's,
by using that program, I'm covering a lot of these things.
And
And
then
somebody's
they'll be
already
prepared.
collected the data that, you know,
because they know what needs to be worked on.
right.
Mhm.
So even though I have exemplary on some of these, it's not that I'm exemplary, it's just that I chose a program that's
That's right.
exemplary.
That's right.